after Christ's life, sometimes we have a hard time. Even me, I'm a Bible study teacher, and I try to envision what would they look like shouting and dancing, and I have a struggle with that. But the more I see it, the more I pray it, the more I dream about it, the more I'm convinced they can have it, and the next thing you know, I'm guiding them straight to it. We've got to see it in our mind. And just think about today, what person do you want to be in 5 years? I hope that you have not kind of reached your apex. I hope you haven't determined, I'm just always going to be this shy, backward person. I'm just always going to be, have these hang-ups of fear and intimidation. I'm always going to have panic attacks. I'm just always going to be what I am today. In 5 years, where do I want to be? I'll be honest with you. I want to be a better speaker. I want to be a better prayer warrior. I want to be more effective at what I do. I don't think we have discovered our best secrets yet. I really don't believe that I have defined my best moments yet. I just don't believe that God has shown me his best yet. I just feel like the best miracle is always the last miracle. I just think that God progressively moves. The best wine was last. And I just feel like somehow that the best in my life is not over yet, Wesley. I just think that there's something great in God. His economy always goes upward. And I just feel like, Brother Willoughby, your best days of harvest are not behind you. I just think they're ahead, because God just does that. That's just the God way. Didn't he say that what's last is going to be first, and what we think? I'm looking for, I just believe this church is going to go out in a blaze of glory. I just don't think that, it's going to be this little pitiful church that's struggling, just to barely make it in. And, if I could just get through the gates, if I could just make it in. They had this awful song that we used to sing. If I can just make it in. If I can just make it in. And you see in your mind, it's like, I'm struggling beneath the load. Oh, God, if can we ever win anybody with that mentality? I have got an iPhone, y'all, an iPhone. I've got an iPhone. It's pretty cool. But I tell you what, I'm just learning, and it's pretty cool, but I really don't know how to use it very well, okay? I am technologically challenged, to say the least. But anyway, there is no way that I would have bought that iPhone if I hadn't had folks telling me, you have got to have that iPhone. You've just got to have that iPhone. Well, I go in the store, and I look at that price tag, and I'm like, oh, no, I can't do that. And I kept thinking about what those people were saying. You just got to have that iPhone. And so I looked at it again, and I looked at it again. And then I talked to some of the people in there. I said, I think maybe this BlackBerry would do just as well, doesn't it? Well, yes, ma'am, it does. But this iPhone over here, I'm going to tell you, I came out with that iPhone. Oh, yeah, I got it. I don't know how to work it, but I got it, and I'm working on it. We've got to be convinced that the power of God in our life, where are you going to be 5 years from now? I want you to just take a few minutes. I'm going to stop right here. I want you to take a few minutes, and I want you to dream again. What do you want to be in 5 years? How do you see yourself? I want you to describe yourself, Megan, 5 years from now. Who are you going to be? Take a few minutes. Dream big now. God dreams. Okay, let's write some things down. There's power between your handwriting and your mind. There's something that happens. You just kind of make a commitment there. Look where you've been. Your life's just beginning. God's in the middle of your book. And He's still got the pen in His hand. Okay, now I want you to pray over that. When you get home, I want you to pray over that, because let me tell you, we can't stop dreaming. If you keep dreaming, God's going to keep fulfilling. And we cannot be a people that stops dreaming, or then we can't dream for other people. If I'm not dreaming for myself, I'm not dreaming for the people that I work around. Because then I stop fulfilling things in my life, because I'm so laden down with so much heaviness that I lose my own ability to dream. And then guess what? I can't dream for everybody else around me. And when we're talking about dreaming for them, there's a purpose for their life, and we have to be plugged into that. And if we're not, why invite them? Because after all, if I can just make it in, those poor people probably won't make it in. And guess what? Then we won't have anybody sitting by us. Okay? Convinced. All right, right now I'd like for you to turn to page 8. And we're going to talk briefly about what it means to be. We got to have the target in our mind. Our target is a fully developed believer. Now let's just talk for a few minutes about what that fully developed believer looks like. We've got to have the target in our mind. If we don't, we won't ever really see this person. Wait a minute. What are they going to be when God emerges in their life? We've got to have our eyes locked on to that, okay? Let's see. What does a fully believer look like? First of all, they're born again of water and spirit, right? Okay, new birth. What else? Have the vision of the pastor. Isn't that a fully developed believer? Other vision carriers. What else? Faithful. Very faithful. 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 How about a passionate worshiper? Y'all just don't worship enough around here. Y'all know I'm joking. Y'all are awesome. Okay, we got a worshiper. Let me get this little stick man here. Oh, hallelujah, and he's jumping. This little guy's jumping. Okay. All right. What else? Giving. They're watching God bless in their lives because they're giving. All right, now let's look at the outer. The goal of every believer, when he said to reach and disciple people, the goal of every believer is for Jesus Christ to become truly Lord of their life. And I'm going to just be frank with you today. People say he's Lord of their life, but they wall off segments of their life. Don't tell me what to do with my money. Don't tell me what to do with my time. Don't tell me what to do with about a boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse. I'll date who I want to. I'll go where I want to. Hobbies. Don't tell me what. And guess what? When Jesus, a fully developed believer, you know what a fully developed believer does? It may take a while. You can't open all doors at one time, but they'll start to open these doors. And we see that God begins to, in every decision that I make in my life, if Jesus is truly Lord, he is the filter for every single decision. Now, let's just look at a few. I've mentioned our time. All of a sudden now we filter our time through him. Our spouse, we look to God. Brother Danny was telling me this morning about the way God worked in his life for his spouse and his submission to Pastor Tim and the Willoughbys and just that whole story, a beautiful thing. It's like, I don't want what God's not sanctioning. I don't care how bad I want it because we're surrendered to him. We got time. Even your fashion. It's like, don't tell me how to dress. Guess what? A fully developed believer is saying, Jesus, how would you want to be reflected in my life? So we open every area of our life, and that is what a fully developed believer looks like. So we have the target in mind. We know what the target is. So as a